elements to a tie before Mother Nature had the final say and the game was suspended. Now tonight they return home as Tim Lincecum opens the homestand for the Orange and Black against the Minnesota Twins. It's interleague play at the corner of 3rd and King. Game 1 next. The holiday weekend begins, and for many, it begins at AT Park, the beautiful downtown home of the San Francisco Giants, with some interleague play. It's the Giants and the Twins. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow. Welcome to San Francisco Giants baseball. And the Giants did indeed brave the elements yesterday and ended up playing a tie ball game. The game will be picked up from the point at which it stopped on Labor Day back in Denver. In the meantime, the Giants are happy to be home, and Tim Lincecum will be on the mound tonight. And we've seen Lincecum be very, very good this year, and sometimes not so good.
Well, and you kind of wonder what Lincecum you're going to see tonight. Now, the last 2 starts, he's had 17 strikeouts in those 2 starts, and he is one of the best strikeout pitchers in the league still. However, there's one big thing that he has to improve upon, and that's how he gets left-handers out. Last year they hit 234 off, and this year they're hitting 326, and that has explained some of the consistencies. We'll watch fastball command for Lincecum, and this newfound slider he has is really a great strikeout pitch. If he establishes that early, he should have a good night.
He'll see some tough American League lefties, including perennial All-Star Joe Mauer here tonight. The Giants did win on Wednesday night in Denver, and Brandon Crawford had quite a game. In a moment, Amy G will come back with more on Brandon Crawford's great night at Coors Field, Denver. Stay tuned.
Giants have returned home. It's Orange Friday, and interleague play is back as your San Francisco Giants in first place welcome in the Minnesota Twins for a 3-game series. Welcome back to the broadcast. Good evening. I'm Amy Gutierrez. And your Giants able to complete 2 of the 3 scheduled games in Colorado before weather halted play yesterday. The Giants with a nice win on Wednesday. And Brandon Crawford just doing his thing. He continues to impress defensively and in the batter's box. And tonight, he's our Ram gutsy play, as we're going to take you back to Wednesday's game, top of the 7th. Crawford at the plate, and he goes yard off right-hander Matt Belisle, giving his team an extra run to work with. We always love to see that. Bottom of the 8th, bases loaded, no outs. Kadire with the tough grounder, but Crawford picks it and does the glove flip for the fancy double play. Ram 1500 Motor Trend's 2014 Truck of the Year, the first ever back-to-back champion. And your San Francisco Giants are in the top teams in the majors in turning double plays. Crawford and his double play partner Brandon Hicks have been quite the middle infield duo so far this season, and tonight they back up Tim Lincecum, who will be on the hill for your San Francisco Giants. All right, John Miller, Mike Krukow have the call. Lineups and first pitch coming up, but after these messages we're going to check in with our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, so stay with us.
After the midway point, but there you see sunny San Francisco. We welcome you into our Comcast Sportsnet studios. Sean Estes, Ahmed Fareed will get you back to AT&T Park in a bit, but we're going to preview this game between the Twins. And Sean, it is interleague play. Always kind of fun to see a team that you don't normally see. These two teams have only played each other 9 times before. Yeah, and the unfamiliarity of not seeing the Twins is what is interesting, is that you don't really know what you're going to get. It's all kind of a feeling out process, especially the first game. All you can go by is scouting reports and how these guys have faced other pitchers. But this is a Twin ball club right now that's playing their best baseball of the season. They won 7 out of their last 10, and they hadn't fared too well in interleague play. They were 0-8 at one point, won their last 2 in San Diego coming into today's game against the Giants. So this is a confident bunch of guys.
they're ready to win.
A little bit harder for the Twins maybe because they got to adjust now their pitchers are batting. For the Giants, not really anything they have to change for this one. But Tim Lincecum, a guy who you talk about up and down, you don't know what you're going to get. We've known what we were going to get with him a lot this year, especially his last 4 starts at home. Look at that ERA, a sparkling 2.70. Timmy, for more times than not, has looked a little bit like the guy that won those Cy Youngs.
He really has. I mean, there has been times this year where you feel like, okay, he's back. Maybe not the velocity, but the confidence. That's what I like to see with Timmy, is how his body language is on the mound. Are his shoulders up? Is he getting the ball? Is he getting in rhythm? Is he pounding the strike zone? Right now, he has a lot of confidence. He's pitching with a ton of confidence because he's getting some results finally. And the thing about it is, he's got that breaking ball working for him right now, so he doesn't have to be as fine with his fastball. But his fastball command has picked up quite a bit. He's going to have to pound the strike zone today against the Twins, Ahmed, because they're a very patient bunch.
And as a team that he has had success for against one time before, and that was 2011, so it was quite some time ago, and he had the long hair back then, but Timmy looked good in that one. 7 innings, 12 Ks. Maybe he can reach back and get some confidence from that. Yeah,
it's hard to go back to that because that was a different pitcher. I mean, as a guy that threw a lot harder, didn't have to command the strike zone as much as he does now with all 4 of his pitches. But I like I said before, if Tim Lincecum has confidence, it doesn't matter who they're facing. I think he's going to have success. But today he's going to face a Minnesota Twins team on paper who doesn't look great. They don't hit a lot of home runs. They have a low average, but they do score a lot of runs, and they're very patient. So he's going to have to pound that strike zone.
We got Sportsnet Central Giants edition immediately following the game on CSN Bay Area. Complete game highlights, post-game reaction. Sean Estes will be back to break it all down, followed by another Sportsnet Central at 10:30. John and Mike going to have lineups and first pitch after these short messages. We'll see you after the game.
Are on the field. We're just moments away from getting started. The Giants and Twins interleague play. The Twins batting order now brought to you by your Northern California Lexus dealer. It'll be Brian Dozier leading it off at second base. And Joe Mauer, multiple all-star selection in the American League and a .334 career hitter in interleague play, 5th best of all time. Trevor Plouffe at third base. Chris Parmalee right field. The former Oakland Athletics catcher Kurt Suzuki back of the plate. Jason Kubel in left field. Eduardo Escobar at shortstop hitting 7th. Aaron Hicks in center. And the pitcher batting 9th, Kyle Gibson.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Tim Lincecum, making start number 10 on the year. He's 3-3 with a 4.74 ERA. For Lincecum, two-time Cy Young Award winner, 4-time All-Star. He's really got the strikeout pitch going well, and it's been a rejuvenated slider. It's got a really good, sharp downward snap to it. 17 strikeouts in his last 2 starts, and he's averaging over a strikeout an inning. You take your at-bats against him, you're going to see a fastball that's low 90s, pretty straight. Got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. 1-0 lifetime against these Minnesota Twins.
And he faces the Twins' biggest home run threat right away, and Dozier belts this one off the wall. That hit the car right in the fender. Dozier has a double. Dozier with 11 home runs coming in. He's the leadoff guy, and he leads the club in homers. He also leads the club in steals with a 370 on base average. He's pretty tough.
Just a fastball up and in that he really does a nice job of staying inside. And that's a quick bat to the middle end part of the play. You can see why he's got 12 home runs with that bat speed.
Karen was played nicely by Morse, who hurried it back to second. Dozier had to hurry to beat the throw. 5th double of the year for Dozier. So apparently he's this year used to seeing those go out of the park. Here is Joe Mauer, and that is the low strike from Lincecum with Hector Sanchez back at the plate tonight. Mauer this year hitting .283, 2 home runs, a .322 lifetime average. 31 years old now, and he will never catch again because of the threat to his health. Change up and away, and he before the game talked about how the doctor told him, because Mauer said he still wants to catch, but the doctor told him if you get one more concussion, you'll be out a minimum of 4 months, and it could be a threat to your future health. So Mauer, when he heard that, he said, okay, then I'm going to hang him up.
He really didn't have much of a choice.
There goes the runner, and Lincecum has him hung up. Pablo and Crawford for the putout.
Wow. Well, he had a great jump. Let's check him out. As soon as Lincecum turned his head, he was off to the races. Lincecum, a rare second look. And it's that second look that I'm sure the scouts that had scouted the Giants says he rarely looks a second time. You got to go. And Dozier did, and he got burned. So important to vary the looks you give a runner at first or second.
So 1 down, nobody on. Just off the outside. The ball and a strike to Joe Mauer.
You're going to see a lot of low strikes called tonight by Angel Campos. He's a pitcher's friend. He's got a big zone. You'll see some belts, but he prefers the low strike, and you can make that strike zone get wide if you have good command.
Left field. Looking up into the twilight, and Morse takes it. 2 down.
Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Tim Lincecum tonight. Starting in the Giants outfield from left to right, it'll be Morse, Pagan, and Pence. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Hicks and Posey on the right side. Hector Sanchez will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Trevor Plouffe, 257, 3 home runs, but in the last 3 games, he's had 4 runs batted in, hitting a cool .500. That is in there for a called strike. 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Lincecum. Lincecum faced the Twins one other time. It was 3 years ago, the last time the teams met in interleague play, and he pitched a beauty. 7 shutout innings with 12 strikeouts. Only 3 hits allowed. And the Giants won the game 2-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, a lot of things have happened and have changed in Lincecum's career since that 2011 season. 2-1.
Well, he really began a journey into bad mechanics, and he could not get out of it. It affected his velocity, it affected his command, it affected his pitch performance.
Three and 1.
Split finger fastball right there in the 2-1 count. Lincecum is the one pitcher that it takes the longest of all the pitchers. He's the guy that takes the longest to find a rhythm. Very unorthodox style of delivery.
And a 2-out walk to Plouffe. Keeps the inning going for the cleanup hitter and a left-handed batter, Parmalee. And you pointed this out at the top of the telecast, Mike. We've gotten accustomed over the years that even though Lincecum's a right-hander, he has always excelled against left-handed hitters. Even the last couple of years where he had so many difficulties, but that has changed this year.
Well, this year, lefty's hitting .326 against him, and that is really uncharacteristic.
So Parmalee, left-handed hitter with some power, .231 average, 3 homers. He's only had 39 at bats. Ball 1. And Sanchez out to the mound, and you see the shift the Giants have on, and they're not waiting for a deeper count or anything this time. Pablo's over to short, and everybody else is overloaded on the right side with Hicks well out into right field.
Outfield pretty straight away. Ron Wotus been having a field day this year, setting defenses, and they've been working.
Two down, runner at first. The curveball in there for a called strike. Remember, tomorrow's game, as the holiday weekend continues, will be a rare 7:05 p.m. night game on a Saturday. And then day game Sunday with the Twins and Monday with the Cubs on the holiday. Just a little bit too low, apparently, and the count is 2-1.
Fastball set up in the outside corner. Just a little low, just a little outside.
Two balls and a strike, and back to the bag is Plouffe. Plouffe, the runner at first, has not had a steal this year, nor has he attempted one. Kurt Suzuki is on deck. He would be next. Back to the screen.
Tell you what, he was not fooled by that off-speed pitch. Good balance in that swing.
Lincecum rubs up the new ball. Touches the rosin bag. And now ready to go back to work on this Orange Friday.
I like the Orange Friday unis.
The fans like it too. Most of the crowd dressed up in orange, as is the case on every Friday night home game here, as Lincecum goes to ball 3 and 2 strikes now to Parmalee. Buster Posey, the first base there. You see some of that orange, which is in abundance all around AT Park. Posey alerting Lincecum that he'll play behind the runner at first now. Plouffe. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Plouffe runs. Strike 3 call. Lincecum gets through it. Pagan, Pence, Posey coming up. Francisco Bay and what we like to call McCovey Cove. The Giants batting order now presented by Audi, Truth in Engineering. It'll be Pagan in center, hitting .313. Hunter Pence, who's hot in right field. Buster Posey, the first baseman, not the catcher, the first baseman here tonight. Pablo Sandoval has also had a hot bat of late. The cleanup hitter, Michael Morris in left. Hector Sanchez, the catcher, and Hector has swung a very potent bat of late. Brandon Crawford at short, Brandon Hicks at second, Tim Lincecum, the pitcher, batting ninth.
On the hill tonight for the Minnesota Twins will be the big right-hander Chris Parmelee, 6. Sorry, I'm talking about the guy in right field. It's Kyle Gibson, and he's a lot bigger than Parmelee. He is 6'6", 220 pounds. And Gibson is a rookie, 4-3 with a 4.20 ERA. He's a sinker slider guy. You're going to see a good sink. Anytime you see a strikeout walk and it's a 1-to-1 ratio, usually it tells you the guy's a sinker baller. And when he's right, you're going to see a lot of ground balls. You're not going to see a high velocity sinker. You're going to see a low 90 sinker. And he has a curveball, slider, and a changeup, but a lot of sliders.
By the way, there was a reason why you were fixated on Chris Parmelee, as were we all, when you pointed it out. As Pagan down the left field line, that is a fair ball. Extra bases into the corner. Kubel digs it out. Pagan with a double.
They set up in the outside corner, and this is going to be a key for a lot of left-handed hitters. With that ball moving away from the lefty, you got to go to right field. And Pagan really does a nice job of staying inside this ball, slicing it down that left field line, and put himself in score position just like that. And easy stand-up two-bagger for Pagan.
And so Hunter Pence will come up now. Pence, who hit a rather astonishing opposite field home run. Not that he hit it so deep, or it's unusual for him to hit a home run, just the pitch that he hit and the way he swung at it. That is called a strike at the knees. 0-1. Pence has now had, in the last 9 games, a .457 batting average, 16 hits in the 9 games. He's also hit well at home this year overall, a .330 batting average in the Giants' home schedule so far. No score, runner at second. And nope, Pagan. Now Pagan breaks. The throw by Suzuki is offline and dug out by Bluth. Pagan, he must have lost that ball for a moment and then very belatedly took off and made it.
Well, you've got to be sure. And as the ball kicked away from Suzuki, at first he thought it was just to the right. Once he saw Suzuki's number and his back turned to Pagan, that was his cue to go. And really a better throw, they may have had a chance to get him.
Runner at third, nobody out. Gibson on the mound. 2-1.
Watch Pagan. It's his call. You're not going to wait for a third base coach there. That's got to be your call. And it wound up being a pretty easy take, a third.
2-1 to Hunter Pence. And that sinker bounced foul. 2-2.
Let's take a look at the Twins defense playing behind Gibson. It'll be Kubel, Hicks, and Parmelee. That's your outfield. Escobar and Plouffe on the left side. Dozier and Mauer on the right side. And the veteran Kurt Suzuki will be in the squad putting down the signs.
2-2. And Pagan will hold on this one with a play right there. And it's, oh, they called him out. I was a little surprised by that call.
They may have to take another look at this one.
And you saw Pence was signaling, oh, wait a minute, better ask for a replay on this one.
Oh, he was by the bag.
First base umpire Jerry Meals, the crew chief, made the call, and Bochy is coming out, as you can see. They just showed the call on the play on the center field screen.
Oh, he's safe. This will be appealed.
Ball has to be in the glove before he hits the bag, and not quite. In baseball, big league baseball terms, not even really that close. So the umpires will look at this and get it right.
Oh, I'm putting a base hit down. This should not take very long.
So they'll go to the replay command center in New York City. 8 umpires are assigned every night. And, well, look how long that took. Now that is the shortest replay on record.
No brainer. And one thing about Hunter Pence, and you know the athlete, and you know the ones that will argue just about anything, and you know the ones that will seldom argue, but when they do, they're usually right. And Hunter Pence saw this, he beat it out, and immediately there was protest from Pence. And the reaction from Roberto Kelly, the Giants' first base coach. So it was an easy decision for Bruce Bochy watching the reaction of those two.
And Bochy has asked the players and the coaches to give him a heads up. You think the call was wrong? Let me know.
33 seconds to get back the response from New York.
Buster Posey now, the slider in the dirt for ball 1. Runners at first and third. So it's an infield hit for Pence, but Pagan, with nobody out, holding on. He didn't want to make the easiest play for Plouffe to just go ahead and go after him. And then Plouffe was not able to get Pence, and Plouffe may have taken just an extra beat, making sure that Pagan was not running. Down the line, Pagan takes off. Now the throw comes. No, he's going to be in a rundown. And that's an easy out. And I'm not sure why Pagan was not running on a double play ball. You've got to run. So they get the 1 run, and he does stay in the rundown. So they move the runners to second and third. But it was odd to see him hold on in this ball.
The Twins are contesting now that Hunter Pence was out at second base. Second base umpire Paul Emo said that there was nobody touching second when the ball was caught, and that Hunter Pence was safe. But the Twins, they're talking it over right now about what just happened.
Well, Ron Gardner, the manager in the dugout, is looking at his bench coach, who's over at the phone to the video room in the visiting clubhouse here. The bench coach is that's Paul Molitor, the Hall of Famer, 3,000 hit man, and Gardenhire is going out. Well, here's a look at it.
Dozier did not have contact with the bag, and Emmel's call was correct. He was safe.
I think Dozier must have he saw Pagan break late and said, wait a minute, I'm going to go get this guy. Well, he clearly did not have his foot on the bag. The umpire's call was 100% correct.
So I thought it was going to be 2 outs with the force at second, and then the tag at home. As it turned out, hey, the Giants get runners at second and third. They were going to lose 1 out anyway, so hey, that's not such a bad idea.
So some really weird things going on that play. So here's Pablo Sandoval, 1 out, runners at second and third. Hit deep. Right field on its way. Adios, pelota. Pablo Sandoval onto the arcade, and that's 3-0 Giants.
Panda was not waiting around. Say, how do you hit a sinker ball? You make him get it up. Look at the target down and in. It goes out over the plate right at the belt. And he was jumping on the first fastball. And as good as he has been the last week and a half, you cannot do that. You cannot sneak a fastball by him, especially from the left side.
3-0 Giants. The home run, that's been their favorite weapon of the year. That's the 56th home run hit by the Giants so far this year. This is their 49th game.
What the heck is going on here? This is the most exciting game we've ever seen.
And the slider misses to Michael Morse. I mean, there have been some wild things that have gone on just in the first inning alone. Some, not just, I guess you wouldn't say just wild things going on. Wild and wacky things have been going on.
Well, we're looking for Friday night energy. Giants trying to get this crowd into the game early. Well, they've accomplished that.
Morris, the team home run leader.
Now that's a big league sinker right there. Big time movement. By the time that thing got up to Michael Morris, that looked like a left-handed slider.
That's foul.
And they're staying on that inside corner.
That play at Pagan, by the way, the fielder's choice. But that would be 5 to 4 to 2 to 5, you think?
I think so. That's how I had it.
2 to 5 to 2. One extra. And Morse goes down. That is the second out of the inning. So here comes Hector Sanchez. Pablo Sandoval, by the way, we're talking about the way he's been swinging the bat. That was Pablo's 20th hit in his last 56 at bats. So he has really been Pablo-like now for the last 2.5, 3 weeks. And Hector chased a bad one in the dirt. Strike one.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks, the Panda hats, the sales of the Panda hats has definitely increased.
And we're seeing more of that too, which is nice to see.
Yeah, he's been smiling a whole lot more.
Not this time. So Pablo, who had just in his last 4 games, he's had 3 home runs with 6 batted in. Pablo, who had a laser beam of a double yesterday in Denver that knocked in a run, the Giants' second run of the game. And he had an opposite field homer at Coors Field the night before that.
There's a Panda person. There's the Panda person.
And proud to wear it proudly.
Oh, he wears that to work. Are you kidding?
Dozier. And the inning is over. But the Giants get 3. Pablo Sandoval. Tell it bye-bye, baby, as Russ Hodges used to say.
Orange Friday Giants broadcast. San Francisco with a 3-0 lead heading into the top of the second. Pretty good news to report on Matt Cain. I spoke with him earlier today. He's feeling much better after straining his right hamstring Wednesday in Colorado. It was a mild strain. He is still listed as day-to-day, but gentlemen, today he played catch. He bunted in the cage during BP. No swings yet, and Bruce Bochy said they will decide tomorrow whether or not Matt Cain will make his scheduled start on Monday. John?
All right, thanks, Amy. And good update there. I think a lot of people are curious as to the scenario around Matt Cain. And Dave Greshner told me before the game that They're looking forward to him, assuming that he feels up to it when he gets here tomorrow with the bullpen session. And he says still no guarantee he'll pitch on Monday. Just a bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kurt Suzuki.
Well, it all has to do with what kind of a healer he is. Guy heals fast, he might make that start. I still think it's less than 50% chance of him going out there Monday.
The curve is low and the count is 2-1. Well, I think we saw with Tim Hudson, he missed the 1 start, and he was a little out of whack in that game yesterday in Denver. Of course, I think he's been out of whack in every start he's ever made in Denver in his career. Never won a game there. Center field, Pagan. Plenty of room, and 1 away. Suzuki is gone. But I think the main thing is Hudson actually did well yesterday, even though he wasn't real happy with the way things proceeded for him, but he only allowed the 1 run.
You know, he said he felt good, and I mean, every player has a house of horrors someplace, and for him it has been at Coors Field. But he felt fine, and I mean, in a way, it was probably a pretty good start to have after you missed a start. I mean, his start was cut short because of the rain delay, but he answered a lot of questions yesterday about his hip. It felt fine, and that's the bottom line.
Kubel, veteran left-handed hitter with some power, and it's ball 1. Back with the Twins where he started out. We saw him in the National League for a while with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he's been struggling here lately. Only 5 hits in his last 9 games. Giants had the big shift on for him. Pablo over to shortstop. 2-0. Giants lead 3-0 here in the 2nd inning.
Kubel, a short arm hitter. Very quick middle end, good fastball hitter. Tough guy to jam.
That's back out of play. 2 balls and a strike. I think he got that on the carom off the brakes. I think that's the best way to do it. Play the carom.
Well, if you don't bring your glove. Very good way to do it.
Where's the glove?
He's a 49er fan.
A little bit off the outside. Hector tried to frame it there and hold it for the umpire to help him do his job.
All right, was this a strike? Yeah, it looks like a pretty good pitch, perhaps a bit outside.
Looked like a strike after Hector grabbed it and put it back next to the outside corner.
A lot of umpires do not like that when you do that as a catcher.
And that's ball 4. Second walk allowed by Lincecum.
All right, time now for our Ford Right Choice. Don't miss the Memorial Day Sell-a-thon now through Monday, only at your California Ford dealer. And June 23rd, 2011, that's when Tim Lincecum defeated the Twins. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, no runs, couple of walks, 12 strikeouts. He was beautiful, and that's our Ford Right Choice.
I remember when the Twins got to town that year. They had a very bad start to the season. Then they had like an 11-game winning streak or something. They were the hottest team on the planet when they got here. And although Lincecum just dominated them on that, what was the series finale? The first game of that series, they faced Madison Bumgarner. It was the worst inning of Bumgarner's career.
Yeah, worst start.
One ball and no strikes to count to Escobar. Runner at first. And that is called a strike. Eduardo Escobar. 337 overall average for him. And batting left-handed 365.
That's going to show you a little frustration. He's not in command of his stuff right now. It's rare for him to show a lot of emotion on the mound, but he will show emotion when he's frustrated with himself and he can't throw the strikes where he needs to throw them.
Three and one.
He's a little frustrated right now. You've got to find the one pitch you can get in the strike zone. I mean, it usually when he goes through a bout of wildness, it's the slider that brings him back into the strike zone. Very rarely is it the fastball.
Escobar went to spring training with the Yankees. Well, that one didn't even reach the plate. And he's walked 2 in a row. So 1 out, 2 men on. The official Giants mobile app at the ballpark is now available to download for free. If you're a Giants fan, you want this app. When visiting AT Park, it allows you to check in to unlock special offers, find your favorite ballpark foods. You can even view game highlights and even upgrade your seat. Learn more about it at sfgiants.com/ballpark app or text ballpark to 31826 to download at the ballpark.
So the message from Dave Rigetti is probably use your other pitches. If you can't trust that fastball, throw something else. And 30 pitches into this game, 19 balls. So clearly he is struggling with his command, and especially the command of that fastball. And that's always a key.
Aaron Hicks, native of Southern California. Switch hitter, and that one is in the dirt. Hicks hitting 196 in 102 at bats with 1 home run. But he has that average, as low as it is rising. In his last 7 games, hitting 333. Kubel at second, Escobar at first. And Lincecum got a strike. It had been a while. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-0 Giants here in the second. Lincecum having his hands full here, battling to find the strike zone. See how the Giants are playing it for Hicks straight away in the outfield. Crawford, the shortstop, over toward the middle, trying to hold the runner close. And the count goes to 2-1.
Just cannot find a feel. And he's throwing everything now. He's gone away from the fastball. He's throwing sliders, splits, and trying to find something that he can rely on to get in that strike zone.
Well, we got that one. Although Hicks was not so sure. Now it's 2-2.
Ever since Rigetti's gone out there, I mean, he hasn't thrown any straight fastballs. It's been all off-speed stuff.
One out, 2 men on. 2-2 the count. The curveball for strike 3.
And he saved the curveball for a nice little 2-strike surprise. And we're going to make it our Mazda speed pitch. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way, and this big old balloon, 75 miles per hour. See you later. Grab some pine, meat. And that's our Mazda speed pitch. Got out front nicely on that particular release.
And that brings up the pitcher, Kyle Gibson.
American League pitchers in interleague play, those are the X factors.
That's a strike. Yeah, is he a good hitter? Who knows? We don't know.
You have no idea. And you just assume that he can't hit, and that's a bad assumption when you have a runner in scoring position.
2 on, 2 out. And the fastball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the curveball. That is strike 2 call.
That's a good one. And Gibson may have been sent up there and told, do not swing until you have 2 strikes on you.
And he struck him out. Lincecum rebounds nicely. Brandon Crawford coming up. One entertainment operating system only from Xfinity. Bring TV and internet together like never before. And we're looking at the future for a catcher named Andrew Susak. I know you saw him in the spring, Mike. He's hitting .267 with a .371 on base average for Fresno. He's got an OPS of .893, so he's hitting with some power as well. And you liked him as a receiver.
I did. He's got good hands, good framer, nice soft receiver, has a good low target. A lot of good instincts behind the plate. You'll definitely see this guy at the big leagues.
Out of Oregon State. Remember that name, Andrew Susak. Giants 3, Twins nothing tonight on NBC Bay Area and the Giants television network. This series continues tomorrow night at 7:05 with Ryan Vogelsong against a longtime Giants nemesis, Ricky Nolasco. Sunday afternoon at 1:05. Bumgarner versus Samuel Deduno. Crawford, center field, but plenty of room out there for Hicks. One away. And now Brandon Hicks will come up. Giants lead 3-0. Facing the Twins, and I think the Twins, most people look at the Twins because they've had 3 bad years in a row, and they're really rebuilding big time. And then they got off to a very slow start, and people thought, well, here we go again. But the Twins have really turned it around here lately. Fastball for a strike to Brandon Hicks. Twins have gone 11-6 since May the 3rd, and are 2 games over 500 for the year. Oh, and 2.
A lot of movement. Gibson gets that ball down around the knees. You're going to get sink that bores in on a right-handed hitter. Up around the belt, it's going to fade into him. It will run flat, but lots of movement. And that really bent the elbows of Brandon Hicks' swing. Gibson does not have great command. I mean, that's the one thing that the area of improvement where he has the biggest ceiling is in his command. He's got the stuff.
One-two count. Struck him out.
Nice tight little slider. Sometimes it takes a guy that's 6'6", takes a taller pitcher a little bit longer to be able to find his mechanics to have consistency with his command.
Well, I think the Twins are never that surprised, maybe chagrined, but not surprised when Gibson starts walking people. I think they might have been surprised, though, when he gave up a home run to Pablo Sandoval. That's only the 2nd home run he had allowed this year. He'd come in 45 innings pitched, only 1 home run allowed. Pablo takes him deep in the very first inning. Ball 1 to Lincecum. So that had been one thing that had been pretty consistent for him, keeping the ball in the yard. That one is into the crowd in a hurry behind the Giants on deck circle. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lincecum, as a hitter, has been hitless so far this year. 11 at bats. He struck out 9 times. Up the middle. Dozier. The throw. He got it. Nice play by Dozier. Like a lot of pitchers, Lincecum is not a fast runner. 3-0 Giants on to the 3rd. And you can spend part of that holiday right here at AT Park on Memorial Day itself. Monday afternoon, the first place Giants take on the Chicago Cubs. It's a 1:05 start. The first 20,000 fans on Monday receive a Giants patriotic beach towel courtesy of Bank of America. Visit sfgiants.com/tickets to get yours now. By the way, we understand there's still tickets available for tomorrow night's game here with the Twins at 7:05. Vogelsong up against Nolasco. In case you were thinking, hey, we should go over there this holiday weekend. Leadoff man Dozier hit the first pitch he saw from Tim Lincecum, and I thought he hit it pretty hard, Mike.
I did too. You know, Lincecum can run a little bit.
Dozier, who had that long double off the fender of the car in left field, and just made a beautiful play to get Lincecum.
I think he put a ding in the car.
I think it's damaged.
Yeah, Lucille's over there checking it out.
A lot of people don't know that that's part of his job. Base hit.
Well, I asked Burt Blyleven, the color analyst on the television broadcast for the Twins, if you were to pick one guy on the Twins team right now who is an all-star, he said, oh, no doubt, Brian Dozier. He's been a shot in the arm for this club.
Dozier, who's from Tupelo, Mississippi, still lives in Mississippi in the offseason, went to the University of Southern Mississippi. Last year hit 18 home runs for the Twins, his first full year in the big leagues. Not bad for a second baseman. Joe Mauer, and that's ball one.
I never thought I'd see this guy hit second in the lineup. Type of start that he had to his career, and I thought this guy was a fixture in the fourth spot or the third spot of the lineup. But really it has had some issues to overcome, injuries and concussions that he's had from the catching position. Still a great athlete, but you know, once you consider yourself a catcher, I mean, it becomes your identity as a player. It's hard to give that up. And if it ever comes to a day where Buster Posey is asked to another position, I think it will be very hard for him. He thinks of himself as a catcher. And I think Mauer still thinks of himself as a catcher, even though he plays first base.
Well, he was the local guy that the Twins so badly wanted. And when he became available out of high school, and he had already signed a letter of intent to play football at Florida State, the Twins had the very first pick that year in the free agent draft. And of course they took Joe Mauer. And it was kind of hard to pass up the chance to play for his hometown team. That's into the wide open spaces, but Pence, no, he's going to have to chase it. This is going to get Dozier home, and Mauer's going to keep on going around second. Brandon Hicks will flip the ball into Posey, and it's a triple for Mauer. 3-1 Giants. It was a couple of years ago since Joe Mauer last hit a triple.
They set up in the outside corner, and look where this thing goes. I mean, that's T-ball location. That's middle of the plate, mid-thigh, and Mauer's not going to miss those. Finds the gap. Gets himself a three-bagger. Did you say 2012 was the last time he got one?
Yep.
Wow.
So here is Plouffe. Ball one. So a run is in, and a runner is at third with nobody out, and the big hitters are at the plate right now. Plouffe, the third place hitter. He walked his first time, and then the cleanup man, Parmalee, on deck. Giants infield, plays back, normal depth. Ground ball could mean a run.
Well, those are two good breaking balls right there, and I think Hector Sanchez, the way that he's receiving those things, is taking those away from Lincecum. And you've got to stick that thing, and you've got to try and keep your elbow below your glove when you're receiving that. Because when you catch that ball and you have your glove take downward movement, that's the movement that the umpire is going to see, and you're not going to get that curveball. If you receive that and you stick that ball and you don't move that glove down, you might get that breaking ball. And two times Lincecum is throwing breaking balls in this sequence, and two times they've been to the low part of the zone and he didn't get either one of them.
Holding at third is Mauer. Pablo throws out. Plouffe. That's a big out. He got the ground ball, but he needed it more to the middle of the infield to get the run home.
Non-productive. Well, the NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit, led by Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kowaleski, they're an award-winning team of 15 journalists dedicated to holding the powerful accountable. The Investigative Unit on NBC Bay Area. We investigate.
Lincecum has a shoelace issue. He takes care of it.
Strikeout situation here with Parmalee.
Parmalee struck out his first time, and he had a rather novel way of staging a sort of a silent protest over the strike the third called strike by Angel Campos.
I've never seen it. I mean, he just stood there right there at the feet of Campos and took off all of his gear, both gloves, the leg piece around his right shin, the helmet, dropped the bat.
Oop, that curve dropped by Hector. That looked like it might have been strike zone territory too. 2-0. So Parmalee, he protested, but he did it very quietly.
Yeah, semi-diplomatically.
That fastball is a strike.
All right, here's the protest. This was strike 3 with Parmalee in his first at bat. And he went, really? Here, I'm going to leave this here with you, and this and that, and I'm going to leave these here with you, because I can't hit that pitch. Maybe you can.
Well, that'll get Mauer home. As from right field, Brandon Hicks is part of the shift. Throws out Parmalee. But now it is 3-2 Giants. 2 runs have scored in the inning.
Well, that's the one thing about a shift. If you have a runner at third base, he could be the slowest guy in the league. And if you hit through the shift out to the second baseman 30 feet out in right field, you could walk home.
So Mauer didn't exactly walk home, but as you say, he could have. Parmalee gets the RBI. Here's Suzuki with 2 down. Suzuki hit a fly ball to center his first time. Giants got 3 in the first on one swing of Pablo Sandoval's bat. The Twins have scored twice here in the third. Center field, Pagan in a little bit now, and the inning is over. Top of the order coming up, starting with Pagan, then Pence and Posey. 3-2 Giants.
The Giants game, we always like to recognize a former Giant, and here tonight with us, but with the Twins, now a pitcher, Kevin Correa. He was drafted by the Giants back in 2002 and played with San Francisco from 2003 to 2008. And about his time with San Francisco, he said it's very, very special playing with your first team in the majors. always is an exciting time for a player. He still stays in touch with former Giant Tyler Walker, and he's very close with the Bochy family. Greg Bochy, Bruce's son, was his college roommate, and they're going to see each other as well. Gentlemen.
And Pagan along the left field line, and Kubel took a bad route and ultimately never put leather on it. Pagan's going to go for third, and he's going to make it standing up. Pagan follows up his double down the left field line with a triple this time.
Again, I mean, you cannot execute any better than that with a sinker that's slicing away from you. You have to go the opposite way, and he does. And there's that route you're talking about, and it was a bad route. He was totally fooled. Yeah, I think he expected a little more fly ball than what he actually got, and it kept slicing away. And once it got past him, an easy stand-up three-bagger for Pagan. That's 2 stand-up extra base hits already in this game for Pagan.
Hunter Pence now had an infield single in the first. Ball 1. Pagan's first triple of the year, by the way. Pence hit a ground ball to third, and Pagan was not running with the play right there, as he had gotten to third on a wild pitch. But then Pence beat the throw to first for an infield hit. It's 2-0, and we're not ever surprised when Pence beats one out. We looked it up. It's his 7th infield hit already this year.
Twins are playing absolutely straight away in defensive Hunter Pence. I mean, you don't get any straighter than that. Any ground ball up the middle will be an RBI. They're trying to stay out of a big inning.
2-1.
All right, time for our BMW Drive, the ultimate driving machine at Bay Area at BMW.com. Yesterday, Hunter Pence, an opposite field home run off Tommy Kahnle in Colorado. I don't think we've ever seen a swing quite like that, and that's what it produced. And for Hunter Pence, home run number 5 on the year. Our BMW Drive. He's amazing.
No, that one goes foul. Otherwise, another infield hit for Hunter Pence. By the way, he had 20. We looked that up too. He had 20 infield hits last year. Gregor Blanco. Now, Gregor Blanco, you think infield hit. Bunch,
yeah.
Slow chop, things like that. Blanco led the team with 21 infield hits. Pence had 20. He's got 7 already this year. And I think part of that is obviously he's got excellent speed, but he also, whenever he makes contact and he sprints up the line, he never does anything but race up that line with everything he's got. I think whatever he does in the baseball field, he does it with everything he's got. 2-2. And the catcher, Suzuki, keeps it in front of him, keeping Pagan at third.
I think you're right. I don't think he has any other gear but 5th gear. One speed guy. I mean, he is so enjoyable to be around and talk baseball. Interesting perspective on everything. I mean, he's not your run-of-the-mill guy. Good teammate. And what you see is what you get with him.
3-2 the count.
There's no hidden agenda in Hunter Pence.
Softly hit. Pagan for the plate. The ball bobbled. Everybody's safe. 4-2 Giants.
Now that was going to be a tough play. They had set Escobar very deep at shortstop prior to the pitch. So anything that was going to hit softly to him was going to be a tough play. It's a do or die. It comes up, hits him in the heel. He can't hang on. And I'll be anxious to see how they rule this. I mean, they could go either way. Get him in the thumb, rattled around.
Well, they're going to score it as an error on Escobar with a run batted in for Pence.
Expect movement on the bases.
Buster Posey, ball 1.
With Bruce Bochy, anytime you have a pitcher out there that has a good sinker like Gibson has, Bochy will respect that, but he'll move runners, anticipating the balls will be hit on the ground. He wants to stay out of the double play. And you've got good speed with Pence at first.
6 steals and 7 tries. A ball and a strike. Now Buster hit into a fielder's choice his first time. And that was kind of a wild fielder's choice. A ground ball to third and a throw to second, and they didn't get the runner at second. And then they did get the runner going home from second. Pence back to the bag, diving.
Again, pretty straightaway defense. For all the extreme defenses we've seen the last couple of series, Twins are playing pretty straight up. It almost looks strange now to see a straight up defense.
So not every team in the majors is into the extreme defense.
Yeah, the Twins are not. And that would absolutely support your theory.
2-1. Ball 3. Pablo Sandoval to hit a 3-run homer. His first time is on deck. Here's Pablo, number 48. Four to 2, the Giants are leading. Pablo's 3-run homer in the first, and now here in the third, a triple by Pagan, and then a slow tap to short, and the error. 3-1 the count. There goes Pence. Down the left field line, but foul.
That's exactly where you want to see the ball if you're a right-handed hitter. And if you have an inside out approach like Posey has, and that's really what makes him special. Any type of a sink or a boring in fastball from a right-handed sinker baller, that feeds his swing.
Three and 2 to Buster. Pence was running on that previous pitch, and the throw to first. Mauer on the bag with him.
I'm impressed with Kyle Gibson. I mean, we talk about how tall he is, 6'6", and tall guys usually are not quick out of the stretch. He is an exception. I had him at 1.14, which is faster than most. Average is 1.25. Time he starts, the time it gets to the catcher.
Pence runs, and Buster tops that one foul. So Pence will turn around and go back to first. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Dodgers have won their game in Philly 2-0 back of Clayton Kershaw and the bullpen. Kershaw went 6 strong with 9 strikeouts. And the Rockies were beaten in Atlanta 3-2. There goes Pence. And Plouffe is only played over to first, and that's the first out of the inning. So Pence does move up. Pablo hit one a long way his first time.
Well, he got a pitch to hit. Belt high, middle in. See ya. And that is what ignited 41,000 people.
Over the 365 marker at the extreme end of the Willie Mays wall out there and onto the arcade. Base hit could mean a run here. And Pablo helped Gibson out a little bit on that one.
That is not his happy face.
I want a mask for next Halloween that looks just like that.
We want the happy Pablo face. Swinging at one hoppers will not give it.
That one looked much more hittable. Fouled back and out of play. Strike 2.
Well, he was on it. But if you're Kyle Gibson, you got to think about trying to bounce a couple of curveballs on home plate just to see if Sandoval will keep fishing. Once he gets in the swing mode, it's hard to get out of the swing mode for him.
That's Pence at second, 1 out. That will come back out of play.
And that was a fastball that was probably 6 inches off his belt. Way inside. Look out, Pablo. Both, watch the arms collapse. Bent arms. But good balance.
Hit well, but not well enough. Pence, halfway to third, will turn around and go back to second. That's another less well-known graveyard for home run hitters. That spot where the left field wall meets the center field. Well, that's 404 feet from home plate.
He's hot. He's got a good swing. Take a look as the thing backspin, slicing away. And Pinch thing, he kind of got rock in a hard place here, and then he slips, and he has to wind up going back to second. That definitely was deep enough for him to advance had he been able to get back to the bag initially and tag.
Now Morse to try to get him in. 2 down. Pence back to the bag. Giants ahead 4-2 here in the third inning. 3 runs in the first. The Twins got 2 here in the third. Mauer with an RBI triple and then later scoring on a ground ball. The Giants have gotten one of those back. Triple by Pagan. Pence with the softly hit ground ball. Scored as an error, but he got an RBI. And now Michael Morse trying to knock him in. He struck out his first time. Chased. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I don't think he's picking up Gibson's breaking ball at all.
Kyle Gibson, who was a first-round draft choice back in 2009 out of the University of Missouri. 22nd overall pick in that first round of the draft. Right center field, but into the wide open spaces. Plenty of room, and Hicks takes it. The Giants are retired. They get a run. They lead 4-2. Let's get back to work in the fourth. Toyota time for Memorial Day sales event savings. It all ends Memorial Day. Toyota. Let's go places. I came to the ballpark in my Toyota today. My hybrid. It always told me from point A to point B when I turned the car off what my mileage was, and if it was really good, it gives me a little credit for it. Like, hey, good work.
How'd you do today?
I didn't get any credit, but I 38.1.
Well, that's good.
And I really wasn't even trying.
Well, You could do better, partner.
The other day I had like a 43 point something or other. Turned the car off and the little screen said, excellent.
Nice going. You did good.
My first excellent since I was a junior in high school.
That's good.
Strike one to Jason Kubel. Now, if you're in the Twins side of things, you might have liked to see Kubel. You might like to have seen Kubel catch that ball that ended up being a triple for Pagan in the third inning. Giants have the shift on for him again with three infielders to the right. Hicks way out there in right field. A ball and a strike to Kubel. One year hit 30 home runs for the Twins several years ago.
Well, but you know, you're down 2 runs. They're giving you the left side of the field. I mean, I don't know why more guys don't bunt against a shift like this. They just hit the ball to third base. That's an automatic man on first base to lead off an inning.
Right into the defense. Brandon Crawford. One away.
Well, for comprehensive coverage of everything orange and black, check out pregame live and postgame live before and after every Giant telecast on Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports.
So Lincecum gets one away, and now Escobar will come up. Kubel had, actually, a year before last, he had 30 home runs when he was with the Arizona Diamondbacks. His first year in the National League. He had 28 homers for the Twins in their last year at the old Metrodome. Ball one.
That was pitch number 60 for Lincecum. And a much better rhythm now than what he had the first couple of innings. Except for that pitch there.
2-0. Well, it sometimes comes and goes for Tim Lincecum. That rhythm. 3-0.
No, it's a wrestling match for them mentally. There's nothing worse than being out there not being able to control your pitches for a pitcher.
There's a strike. Aaron Hicks, the 8th place hitter, is on deck. 4-2 Giants here in the 4th inning.
I mean, your whole goal changes. I mean, you can't compete when you don't have mechanics.
Just off the outside. Second straight time that Escobar has walked. And that's the 4th walk allowed by Lincecum in these first 4 innings.
You have to throw a pitch that you can get in the strike zone. Sometimes it's a hanging slider, but if that's all you can get in the strike zone, that's what you have to throw. And how can you compete with a hanging slider? Or if you normally throw at 93, 94 miles per hour, you take off speed to get it in the strike zone. Tough to compete with an 88 mile an hour fastball. But if that's the only pitch you can throw over the plate, that's what you have to go with. And that's frustrating.
Aaron Hicks called out on strikes his first time, and that is called strike one. Hicks fiddling with the gloves, having a quick look at Joe Vavra, the third base coach.
I'm impressed, though. Still a .328 on base percentage when he's only hitting a .194.
It's a lot like Brandon Hicks. It's like the whole Hicks family's like that, I guess. Low average, excellent on base percentage.
What a bunch of Hicks.
Brandon Hicks, who came into the game with a 195 average, .313 on base. And back to the bag is Escobar. Aaron Hicks only 1 home run, but the very strong on base percentage. Aaron Hicks is 3rd on the team in walks. 2-1. And the Twins, this is a ball club. You have to throw them strikes by and large up and down the lineup. Twins have drawn a lot of walks this year. 44 more walks drawn than they have allowed. Twins as a team, 2nd in the American League as a team in drawing walks. No swing. Now it's 3-1. So Hicks is on the verge of getting another walk out of Lincecum. who has walked 4 already in 3 1/3 innings. It's been a battle for him. Gibson, the pitcher, is on deck. Wow. And that one hit Hector Sanchez. Nope, and he doesn't know where the ball is. He was shaking his hand, finally picks it up, and the runner from first ends up at third. And now halfway to second base is Hicks. And Sanchez runs it back onto the infield and then asks for timeout. That one hit Hector in the bare hand, and he was really hurting, and then he neglected to follow where the ball had went.
Well, a scud, and it looked like it hit him right in the fingertip of his ring finger or little finger on his right hand, his throwing hand. It's rare that you see a catcher just forget about the ball. And that's basically what happened there. And Escobar, heads up play, just took third base. So Sanchez need a little time right now.
So it's a wild pitch on the walk. And Escobar takes 2 bases on that wild pitch. Bochy out with Eric Ortega, one of the assistant trainers. Buster Posey, the Giants' other catcher.
He's got to throw a couple, see if he can get some feeling back in his fingertips. Now that good rhythm that Lincecum into the third inning in just has all of a sudden disappeared here after 1 out here in the 4th. And this is a scud. This is a get it in situation, and he one hops a fastball. So if he throws one like that to get it in situation with a runner at first base, how confident do you think Sanchez is with a runner at third base now? What do you call?
Gibson, the pitcher, at the plate. Giants middle infielders double play depth. It's hit soft to the third. Pablo's going to go home, and that's an easy out. I'm sure it was the contact play where he was supposed to go on a ground ball, but that became the easiest option for Pablo.
Well, I'm a little surprised that they went contact play with the third baseman drawn in. I think this is a mistake, and that's an easy play. That's a layup right there for Sandoval. I mean, you have to respect the bunt with a pitcher so you can see, if you're the runner, that third baseman is in on the grass. And usually with 1 out, you do see a contact play, but I don't think that was the time to do it.
So Hicks went to second. Gibson now at first on the fielder's choice. He's put the sweatshirt on over there. And the leadoff man, Dozier, who has hit the ball very hard twice, a double and a single. The curveball in the dirt, ball 1. I know some teams, talk to different players with different teams. Some teams, if it's the contact play, you're just supposed to take off if it's on the ground. Other teams, there are certain exceptions. You take off except where you would run into the easiest out.
The other thing too, you're looking at a guy out there who's throwing one hoppers 4 feet out in front of the plate with a fastball. Why would you have a runner at third base go with a pitcher making contact like that? You got a leadoff hitter who's had 2 great at bats hitting behind him. Just not the time to go.
Yeah, if he'd held, they could have runners at second and third right now. High and foul. Pablo and Crawford both ranging over, but it's out of play.
Nice play by a Giants fan.
Well, there's Adebayo down there.
Adebayo. Our ball dude, Clyde Frelick.
One ball and 2 strikes. Dozier has been the, as you mentioned earlier, has been the Twins' all-star up till now. Home run leader, stolen base leader. And that one got away from Hector Sanchez.
Well, this is not the way you try and break a ball, block a ball in the dirt. And they used to have if a guy would catch like this, they start getting called a boxer because he's out there jabbing. You cannot position your glove like you're trying to backhand a ball as a shortstop, because if the ball it bounces, it's going to hit your glove and it's going to carry him off like it did.
So now 2 men in scoring position. 2 down, the 2-2 pitch. Curveball struck him out, and the inning is over. Somehow, in the midst of 2 walks and 2 wild pitches, the Twins do not score. The Dodge Challenger. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And we're a little distracted right now because we just got a visit from Will Clark here in the booth. Always great to see Will. An all-time Giants great. Meanwhile, the Giants out in front 4-2. Kyle Gibson, the Minnesota starter. The Twins got into a spot there with the guy who's been their best hitter this year at the plate, where a base hit could have tied the game, but Linscomb got through it somehow.
Somehow. It's been a wrestling match.
2 walks and 2 wild pitches. Twins did not score. Here is Hector Sanchez. The backdoor slider for a strike. Now Hector, he might like to take a little of that pent-up anger at what's been, because he's getting beat up, as you pointed out. He'd like maybe to take it out on the baseball right here.
Well, that is if his hand allows it. You always wonder how many at bats the catchers give up because they got a ding on their hand, or if they get a foul ball off their shoulder or off their elbow. And they're never 100%.
And the changeup for the strikeout. Hector was not up there very long. 1 away, and now Brandon Crawford will come up. Tim Lincecum, by the way, after a 20-pitch 4th inning, has thrown 75 pitches in those 4 innings. He's walked 5. He had the 2 wild pitches in the 4th.
Well, that's kind of how it's gone for him. You know, he'll have 2 good starts, and then he'll have a couple of bad ones, and just cannot find that consistency with his mechanics.
0-1 to Brandon Crawford.
Well, all of a sudden, Gibson's found this changeup. That was a good one.
Six feet 6 inches tall. 26 years old. Kyle Gibson. Right up the first base line, and that's foul. Just hopped foul right at the last.
Yeah, not by a whole bunch.
0-2 the count. Crawford hit a fly ball to center, and I like the piece Amy G had about Crawford's Wednesday night game in Colorado, he turned the defensive play of the game along with Brandon Hicks. A double play with the bases loaded, nobody out. The big hitters all coming up in a row, and looked like the Rockies were going to get right back in the game, and that just took it out of him. He also hit a second deck home run in right field. Coming in, Parmalee, 2 down. Here's that double play we're talking about in the 8th inning Wednesday.
And just an ad-lib. Will flip with the glove to the bare hand of Hicks, who positions his back foot and gets a great throw off to complete the deuce. A run scores, making it a 5-1 game. A runner over to third base, and that would be all that the Rockies could do. But I mean, that you're thinking bases loaded, nobody out. Here comes the Rockies, and that play took all the wind out of their sails.
That was the former Twin, Kadire. That is a curveball hit deep to left field, and goodbye. Brandon Hicks got a hanger, and he knew what to do with it. 5-2 Giants, the second Giants home run of the night.
Well, Kyle Gibson's got to be thinking, man, every time I make a mistake up, they kill it. Get it in, first pitch, breaking ball, belt high, see you later, not coming back. Home run number 8 for Brandon Hicks. And that was a topspin fly ball getting out of here. That's an impressive swing of the bat.
8th home run of the year for Brandon Hicks in 130 official at bats. Lincecum fouls one. Second home run of the night. Pablo Sandoval hit one in the first inning with a couple of men aboard. Strike 2. And one thing about this Giants lineup, up and down the lineup, from the leadoff guy Pagan, and now Hicks, the 8th guy. Any one of those guys can hit a home run at any time.
In any ballpark.
A little bit high.
A little anger on that 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Gibson.
Lincecum grounded out to second his first time. And out on strike, that changeup again this time. But Brandon Hicks goes bye-bye, baby. It's 5-2 Giants. Joe Mauer coming up.
stance on Marco Scutaro, who underwent PRP therapy last Monday. PRP, gentlemen, stands for platelet-rich plasma. I talked with head athletic trainer David Greshner, who said they took Marco's blood out, they spun it, and then they inject it into the part of his body that's ailing him, which is his back. The whole point is that it's supposed to relieve the pain, but it isn't very comfortable. It's a big needle, and at first it causes inflammation, so Scutaro needs to rest about a week, and then he's going to head to Arizona early next week and resume his training regimen. Gentlemen?
All right, Amy, thank you for that update. A week doesn't go by when we don't get asked, sometimes several times, what about Marco Scutaro? What's the latest?
Wow, who came up with that treatment?
You look kind of like, how come they didn't have that when I played?
I want to try that.
0-2 to Joe Mauer, who hit a triple into the big gap in right center his last time to knock in a run. Lincecum is too high with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2.
Well, this is how he came out last inning. The first several pitches that he threw, you're thinking, all right, he's locking back in.
2, 3, 4 spots in the Twins order coming up here. 5-2 Giants. And that's his. Oh, it was a foul. The plate umpire Campos did not signal foul at first, and then Hector Sanchez chased after the ball. Now Hector's saying, wait a minute, what do you mean foul? I didn't hear any foul.
All right, let's take a look. I don't know that he got it either. Maybe he got a piece of it from that angle. It's all sound, though. That's what an umpire's going on, that type of play.
Definitely got a piece of that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It did, from that side angle, look like there might have been a little change of angle with the ball.
And that looked like it did have contact. The other one, I wasn't so sure. Not a reviewable play.
1-2 to Joe Mauer. It's softly. Pablo coming in a long way. Has to hurry. Not in time.
And just like that, Lincecum right back in the stretch. Giants are sort of waiting for the clubhouse to review this before you get any kind of an argument from Bochy. Pablo had to come a long way. And I think he beat it.
Good call by Jerry Meals.
I'm impressed with the speed of Mauer getting down the line, beating that one out. I mean, he's a big guy, 6'5", 230. But in result, the Twins get what they want. That's a leadoff hitter on base.
Mauer, his first full year in the big leagues, stole 13 bases. Wasn't that unusual for him to get 7, 8 steals in a year, which is a lot for a catcher. Trevor Plouffe has walked and grounded out to third. Curveball. And it's 2-0. Lincecum has been battling himself, it seems, almost as much as the Twins. The strike zone has been elusive for him. He's thrown 83 pitches in the game, still more out of the strike zone than in. And he's facing an extremely patient team. Caught by Brandon Crawford.
Oh, that was a bullet. They said Plouffe was hot coming into the series, and he put a charge into this one, and Brandon Crawford just took it away. He got about one step and he could fall. That's the range. Lays out and uses every bit of that glove. Nice pick. You the man. You the man.
So here is Chris Parmelee, the cleanup hitter, has struck out looking and grounded out, knocking in a run. And this is a soaring fly ball to Pagan over toward left center. And a quick second out. Now, Parmelee did something there that the Twins don't often do, which is swing at a first pitch. Twins as a team have swung at the fewest first pitches of any team out of 30 in either league.
Well, their philosophy's working.
They see the most pitches per plate appearance of any team in the major leagues. And there's a term that gets used now, chase, getting hitters to chase out of the strike zone. The Twins have chased the fewest pitches out of the strike zone, the second fewest of any team in the majors there. So it's a very disciplined group up and down the lineup. And that's not a good combination when you're Tim Lincecum and you're having a hard time maintaining the strike zone. He has walked 5 in this game, but leading 5-2 here in the 5th inning. That's a base hit to center field. Suzuki, who twice had flied out to center, singles to center here, and Pagan tries to throw in behind the runner, but Mauer easily back. So Suzuki with his first hit, and now Kubel will come up. Kubel still trying to find himself. Last year with Arizona, after a 30 home run season, he hit only 5, and ultimately they said goodbye to him. And he's hit only 1 so far this year. As he backs away, Kubel has had 137 official at bats and only 1 home run.
But you know it's there. You know it's in his hands. And if you make a bad pitch, he will bite you.
Kubel, who will turn 32 on Sunday, and he had a steady progression of power hitting seasons with the Twins. 20 homers, 28 the next year, 21 the next. In fact, the 21 homer season, that was the first year of their new ballpark, which is a very big yard. Curveball low. A ball and a strike. 2 men on, 2 men out here in the 5th inning. Tim Lincecum about to throw his 90th pitch of the game. Giants have the shift on for Kubel. 3 infielders to the right of second. Out of play. Second deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Take a look at the pitches by inning for Lincecum, and they're all over the preferred 15 or less limit that most pitching coaches would like to see. 16 in the first. Really had to work hard in the second and the fourth. Just has been one of those nights. Tries the breaking ball just away outside.
2-2. Kubel walked in the second, grounded the second in the fourth. Second baseman is 30 feet or so into right field. Brandon Hicks. Did he swing? An appeal? No.
He thought about it. Did he go? No. Not even close.
So now it's a 3-2 count, and the Giants bullpen is going to get busy. George Cantos, number 70, runs down to the bullpen in a hurry. On deck, the switch hitting Escobar. Mauer at second, Suzuki at first. Ready to run with a 3-ball, 2-strike count and 2 down. 5-2 Giants. There they go. It's low, and the bases are loaded. Six walks now issued by Lincecum, and Righetti will come out to chat.
Well, just to give him a little breather with 93 pitches under his belt, which will allow us a chance to remind you that if you're looking for the perfect Father's Day gift, how about an orange and black necktie plus tickets to 2 Giants games? It's the Giants Father's Day gift pack starting as low as $39. The pack will include tickets to the Father's Day necktie giveaway June 15th and to the 25th anniversary tribute to Dave DeVecchi's comeback July 12th. 2 great games plus the necktie. Go to sfgiants.com/minipacks to purchase this special Father's gift pack.
Lincecum with 6 walks tonight. The most he had walked in any other game was 4 in a win over Atlanta. He also had 11 strikeouts in that game. That was 2 starts ago. He's walked 6 in 4 2/3 innings tonight.
And this is not the kind of hitter that's going to help him. He's got to get in that strike zone.
Escobar has walked twice in this game already. That's a first pitch strike. Escobar came into the game with a .362 on base percentage, and he's walked twice. Bases loaded, 2 down. Posey, he'll take it himself. And Lincecum, living dangerously, again survives stormy seas. Last of the 5th inning, top of the order. Pagan coming up. McDonald's. Download the McD app on your smartphone for great deals on the food you love at participating McDonald's. And a view from McCovey Point. The man himself, number 44. 521 career homers, Willie McCovey.
Beat the Twins on our birthday. A couple of Twinkies right there. You would think that if you were a Twin, you'd root for the Twins. But so, no, Gamer Babes from Burlingame.
They want the Giants to beat the Twins for the Twins.
There you go.
I think he feels differently. That particular guy wearing the Twin Cities cap. Here is Pagan leading it off against Kyle Gibson. Pagan has really foiled Gibson's strategy. You pointed it out both times. Getting Gibson's signature pitch, the sinker. Took one down the left field line for a double and one down the left field line for a triple the last time.
He wants to throw that changeup. That's become his best pitch.
2-0.
Suzuki wanted a fastball in, front door style. Then he opted to go fastball away. Well, Gibson said no. Then he went to a breaking ball. No. Finally, on the fourth try, he put the changeup up. And Gibson said, "That's what I like."
But now it's 2-0. Now what?
Sinker. When in doubt, throw the sinker.
And that ran off the outside. 3-0.
And that's the one good thing about a sinker ball. Right? When in doubt, throw the sinker, get a ground ball. Hopefully somebody catches it. I mean, that's a pretty basic philosophy if you have a good sinker.
That's called a strike at the knees. 3-1. Giants have been scoring steadily. 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and they've hit 2 home runs. Hunter Pence on deck. Called strike 2.
So front door sinker. That's the pitch that Suzuki wanted. And why not? I mean, Suzuki knows that Pagan has beaten Gibson twice on sinkers away. Another sinker.
And he shook off. Looked like he wants to throw a changeup again.
What do you like that idea?
Well, if you can throw it for a strike, yeah.
Pulled foul.
And he threw a good one. Look out, Gary Fralick, our ball dude. You got to get out of there or out of here. What's it say? Back of his jersey, it's great. Dwayne Kuiper's great home run call. Out of here.
Dozier, plenty of time. And it's the first time that Pagan has been retired in this game.
All right, let's take a look at our Toyota by the numbers. It's Toyota time for Memorial Day sales, event savings. It all ends Memorial Day. Toyota, let's go places. Hunter Pence this season. First 39 games hitting .250 with a .368 slugging percentage, a couple of home runs. The last 9 games, .457, .857 slugging percentage, 3 big flies. He has gotten hot.
Into the hole at short. Escobar. And Pence retired for the first time. He had an infield hit to extend that hitting streak in the first inning, and then reached on an error, although he got an RBI on the play in the third. So 2 down. And Buster Posey, who has hit 2 ground balls to third in this game. 0 for 2. Although the one ground out ended up with nobody actually. Well, the one guy got tagged out, but it was a wacky play. And ball 1 with a slider. It would take several minutes probably to recap the play, as you see Matt Guerrier, the right-hander, warming up in the Twins bullpen. 5-2 Giants here in the 5th. 2 down. But suffice to say, Posey came up with runners at first and third and nobody out, hit a ground ball to third, and he ended up at second on the play. And Pence, who was at first, ended up at third, and the guy who was at third ended up out.
Gibson's beating up the place. Put a hole in the sign. All right, watch the sign. Health. Look out. Oh. Yeah, beating up the place.
I need to send that sign to Dignity Health. Fast. Escobar. And that's 3 ground ball outs for the Giants. They lead 5-2 as we head to the 6th inning.
To Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area tomorrow at 6:30 for Giants pregame live before Game 2 of the series. We'll be back with you on NBC Bay Area and the Giants Television Network in 2 weeks on Friday night, June 6th at 7 o'clock for the Giants and New York Mets game right here at AT&T Park.
The 8th place hitter, Aaron Hicks, leads off. He struck out and walked. Tries to bunt his way aboard, but fouls it. Strike one. Both bullpens are busy as this inning starts. That was the 96th pitch of the evening thrown by Lincecum. The pitcher's spot due up next, and Gibson, the pitcher, is out on deck for the Twins. Giants lead 5-2 as we start the Minnesota 6th inning. Lincecum has walked 6 in the first 5 innings of this game, and that is 1 walk away from his career record for walks in a game. 2-1. His first start last year against the Dodgers, he walked 7, and also in September of 2012 he had 7 walks against the Dodgers. 2-1 the count to Hicks. It's 2-2.
Hicks not happy with himself. He's figuring he just swung at ball 3.
The Twins have a left-hander up in their bullpen by the name of Caleb Thielbar. 2-2. And it's a full count.
I'll tell you, the way it's going right now, I don't know if Bruce Bochy would let Lincecum pitch to another hitter if he walks Aaron Hicks. And 100 pitches into it.
Well, he doesn't walk him. Buster Posey right at the bag. 1 away. That was his 101st pitch now, and still he's thrown more out of the strike zone than in, which is, when do you ever see that? Not this deep into a start. Very rarely. 52 out of the strike zone, only 49 in.
It's been a tough start for him. It really has. Like, to his credit, he's been able to pitch out of it, but he's really not made it easy on himself.
Eduardo Nunez is going to be brought into the game now as a pinch hitter for Kyle Gibson. Sixth inning, the Giants leading 5-2 over the Twins. In spite of it all, Lincecum has only allowed the 2 runs, and as we've seen on more than one occasion this year, even when there have been a lot of base runners, somehow he's tightened up considerably with runners in scoring position. Twins don't have a single hit in those situations tonight. Pablo almost sitting down, gloved that one, and Nunez is retired. 2 down. I don't know that he practiced making this play quite this way.
Well, you don't normally see a third baseman lose his feet that quickly, but he leaned to his right and then he sort of fell back to try and get himself a better hop as that ball came up. So the one nice thing about third base is once you snag a hard hit ground ball, you got a lot of time to get yourself up, square, and get off a throw. Nice play.
So 2 down, nobody on, and here is Dozier, the leadoff man, the home run and stolen base leader. Tonight he's hit a ball off the left field wall for a double. The first pitch of the game, and he hit a hard single to left his next time and scored a run. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Lincecum 1 out away from finishing the 6th inning. And you wouldn't have, somewhere back in the 5th inning, you wouldn't have given much for his chances of doing that. That curve is bounced foul. It's 1-2.
No, you're right. I mean, he's 1 strike away from a quality start. Quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs or less. And there isn't a manager on the planet that wouldn't take that consistently. But when you walk 6, it does put an asterisk on it.
2 down, base is empty, and the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. pulled sharply foul right toward Jeremy Affeldt. Who else would it be?
He is a ball magnet. And almost gets Affeldt.
Didn't have a clue where it was, but he did start jumping around. Just in case it's right toward my feet, I'm going to jump over it. And that is yanked foul into the crowd. So Dozier hitting some very loud foul balls here. Gutierrez, the right-hander, and Affeldt, the left-hander.
All right, and Clyde Frederick, our ball dude, I got this one. I got this one. And then the pad of the fence. Get him in.
1-2. Two balls, two strikes, and there you see that discipline of the Twins hitters. Dozier, on top of everything else, all the home runs and the steals and whatnot, he also has walked 30 times this year. And a foul out of play. Dozier leading the Twins in walks and among the league leaders in the American League, 5th in the league in walks. Two down, nobody on. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball, and that is foul.
Chi making a play. Just out there pigtailing for the catchers, protecting them. It's all part of your job description if you're a bullpenner.
He literally has their back. 2-2 the count. High in the air into the big part of the yard. Plenty of room for Pagan. And that's 6 in the book for Lincecum. Not an easy ride, 112 pitches, but just 2 runs allowed. Tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon against the first place Giants. And tomorrow night at 7:05 start, Cap Night presented by Dignity Health. The first 20,000 fans receive a Giants 70s logo baseball cap. And Sunday a 1:05 start in the sunshine. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Giants barbecue apron courtesy of Johnsonville. After all, the Memorial Day weekend is not usually the traditional start of summertime. sfgiants.com/tickets.
New pitcher now for the Twins will be Caleb Thielbar. 19th time that he has come in. 2-0 with a 4.50 ERA. Thielbar gives you a low 90s fastball. Big curveball, slider, changeup. It's really kind of a great story. He was an 18th round pick by Minnesota, and after a couple of years of professional baseball got released. Then he went to the independent league. He started playing for St. Paul.
The Saints.
St. Paul Saints, and the Twins signed him there, sent him to A-ball, and he pushed his way up the ladder in their farm system. And here he is in the big leagues. And he's from Minnesota.
Down the right field line, deep and foul. All the way to the breaks. 1-2 to Pablo, who hit a big 3-run homer onto the arcade over the 365 marker in the first inning in right field, and then flied out deep to left center in the third inning. Batting right-handed down. He's not done much right-handed, hitting 159 as a right-handed hitter. 2-2.
I just think it's a great story when a guy gets released by an organization. A lot of guys just say, that's it for me, I'm done. But guys persevere. They go to independent league, keep pitching, and all of a sudden, boom, they get a break, and here they are, big leaguers.
Foul tip and held. Strike 3. Well, Thielbar is one of those guys, and he's also from the Twins area. The Twins have a very large area there in the Midwest, the upper Midwest, as they call it. And I think the Dakotas are part of what they figure is their drawing area. The radio and TV networks. People come from hundreds of miles around to see Twins games. Here's Michael Morse. A curveball in there for a strike. And that team, the St. Paul Saints, that became a very popular independent league team in the minors. Big crowds all the time. Right to Plouffe at third. And 2 down, and Morse is 0 for 3. So Thielbar gets a couple of quick outs, and now Hector Sanchez will come up. The Giants bullpen is busy. The left-hander Jeremy Affeldt continues to heat up. Giants leading 5-2 here in the 6th inning. Sanchez, who has grounded out to second and struck out. Curveball. Foul ball, strike 1. Giants got 3 in the first on the Pablo homer. They got another in the third, a triple by Pagan. He scored on the softly hit ground ball by Pence. It was turned into an error. Hicks hit a home run in the 4th inning. 5-2 Giants. Twins got their 2 in the third. Dozier singled, Mauer tripled him home, and then Mauer scored on a ground out. The only runs allowed by Tim Lincecum in his 6 innings. And it's not official that he's out of the game yet, but we would think he is after throwing 112 pitches in those 6 innings. That's a foul into the crowd off to the right. 1-2. The wind, by the way, is blowing out with gusto toward left field now. That's the wind, sort of the prevailing wind of AT&T Park, the one we're used to seeing over the years.
Yeah, that's the one you get in May, and you get all the way to the end of August, and then all of a sudden in September it usually reverts back to the same type of wind we see in April.
Struck him out with a high hard one. Strong inning there for the former independent leaguer Thielbar. Joe Mauer coming up. in the Bay. See breaking news, your microclimate weather forecast, and real-time traffic. Watch Today in the Bay, weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. here on NBC Bay Area. You used to do that show, didn't you?
I did. Too early.
4:30. Jeremy Affeldt on to pitch for the Giants here in relief of Lincecum.
17th game that he has come into this year for Bruce Bochy, and he's really had a nice start to his season. A little delayed because of a stint he had to be on the disabled list coming out of spring training with a knee injury. But since he's come back, he has been fantastic. 15 base runners in 14 2/3. Low 90s fastball, big curveball, and a split. Gregor Blanco is now the new Giants left fielder. Michael Morse is out of the game.
And Joe Mauer leads off. The veteran lefty who's hit a triple to right center. And he beat out an infield hit. A little bouncer on the left side his last time. And that's a called strike to him. Mauer 2 for 3, hitting .290 for the year. Now with a .378 on base percentage. I like how they update that stuff on the scoreboard here for each hitter. You don't just get his batting average, but his homers, RBIs, and his on-base average right up to the minute as the game goes along. They got some guy with a little calculator working on the scoreboard out.
But I do think it's cool. I think everything up on that board is relative and it's informational, that it applies to the game situation.
The thing that is not an impressive number for Mauer is the slugging percentage. 1 and 2.
It really has become a single center.
And he is a guy in the second spot. That's more of a table setter spot in the lineup to get on base for the power hitters, the RBI men. And he's got an excellent on base percentage, getting on base a lot. That curve in the dirt. 2 and 2. Joe Mauer had one big home run year with the Twins when they were still at the Metrodome, and I think a lot of people expected that would just continue on. In 2009 he hit 28 home runs, but he never hit more than 11 in any season since. The next year they moved into their big new ballpark downtown. That's over Affeldt, barehanded by Hicks. He got him. Excellent defense there by Brandon Hicks.
A little concerned about how Jeremy Affeldt came down after he tried to leap high to catch this ball. Watch the bend in his knees as he comes down. You're always concerned about that. He wears a brace on his right knee. But nevertheless, a tremendous play defensively. It was going to be a barehander. When you get the barehander, that's how you're going to throw it. You're not going to have time to regrip it. Well done.
Here's Plouffe. Curveball for a called strike.
I think this is really a great play for infielders to show off on. And you saw how he got that with the bare hand. It kind of rolled up the palm a little bit. He didn't have a great grip to begin with.
Plouffe has walked, grounded out, and lined out. He got victimized on a Brandon Crawford diving catch of a ball that he blistered back in the 5th inning. Ball and a strike to count. Giants lead 5-2 here in the 7th. 1 out.
I think I said he wears the brace on his left knee. He wears it on his right knee. Talking about Affeldt.
Right to Crawford again.
So Trevor Plouffe is hitting bullets right at Brandon Crawford. Now that was in the 5th inning. And here in the 7th, it's picked clean again. Let's give him appreciated that one in the 5th.
Plouffe keeps hitting him right on the screws, right at the wrong guy. So here now is Parmalee, the cleanup man. 2 down, nobody on. And that's in for a called strike. Parmalee has struck out, knocked in a run with a ground ball to second, and he is flied out to left. Giants are not in the big overshift as they had been when Lincecum was pitching for him. Curveball misses.
You know, there's a lot of competition for the Gold Glove I think they should expand the award. The guy who wins it, who's voted first, he gets the gold glove. The guy who's second should get the silver glove, and the guy who's third should get the bronze glove. Because it kind of stinks if you're really a good shortstop, but say you're playing behind Ozzie Smith, he gets 16 gold gloves, and you get with the little bird left on the rock.
He won 14 silver gloves. Ozzie won 16 gold gloves.
I mean, why not?
Silver's pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks good in a trophy case. Gold, silver, bronze. I've heard of that somewhere before, that concept. Where is that?
Well,
has that been done, actually?
Yeah, no, that's my own idea, John.
Good idea. Man, you're always thinking. Wow, the bat exploded right in his hands. 2-2. The ball rolled over toward the Giants' dugout. Parmalee's got to get a new piece of wood.
But I mean, that would distinguish a player and take some of the sting out of not getting the gold glove if you got the silver glove. But there's just so many good shortstops in the National League right now that it's hard to think that there's anybody better than what we've seen from Brandon Crawford. But you never know as to how it's going to get voted upon.
Along the line of left field, and that's going to be in there. Base hit. Blanco handles it. So Parmalee punches one to left field to get his first hit of the game. And the Twins have their 6th overall. 2 down in the 7th. Kurt Suzuki to the plate. Giants lead 5-2 here in the 7th. Tim Lincecum went 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts, but 6 walks and 2 wild pitches.
A pretty gutty performance considering he did not have a great feel of the ball tonight.
The Twins never had a hit against him with a runner in scoring position, and they had a lot of chances. They were 0 for 7 in those big at bats. That's a foul. First pitch swinging there by Suzuki, who twice has flied out to center and once single to center. Kurt Suzuki came up with the Oakland Athletics. Excellent receiver, always very athletic behind the plate.
I've always liked this guy.
Become a journeyman now.
He's a complete player. And he may be one of those guys that when he's all said and done, he'll catch 18 years and play for 10 different teams. But he has a lot to bring a team. And he's really made a difference in this Minnesota team.
Well, they have a lot of young players, and he is a real veteran presence for that pitching staff with a lot of young guys. The curveball strikes him out. Strong 7th inning for Appel. Brandon Crawford, then Brandon Hicks coming up.
Wives auction is taking place tonight and tomorrow. So if you weren't able to come to tonight's game, you still have a shot tomorrow. Visit the community clubhouse. It's on the promenade level right by the press box, and take a look at the favorite things basket. It's a silent auction. Place your bid. The wives have spent a lot of time putting all their hubby's favorite things into a basket, and there are mystery baseball signings that you can purchase. So you buy a mystery baseball and find out who signed it for you. All the proceeds benefit the Giants Community Fund and several other charities. And if you aren't able to come to either game, you can still bid online. sfgiants.com/wives auction. It's a great cause, gentlemen.
All right, Amy, thanks for the great cause update. Appreciate it. On Orange Friday, as if one look at the stands didn't already tell you that. Here is Crawford taking a called strike from Caleb Thielbar, who retired the Giants in order in the 6th inning, and he's back for another round here. Crawford, best ball he's ever hit against a Thielbar, and beyond the dive of Parmalee, he can run for a while. It's rattling around at 421, and he'll make it to third standing up.
Now Parmalee dove for this, and he was really slow getting up. That's a hanger right above the belt, and this is what you're supposed to do with a hanger. He finds a gap, and watch Parmalee dive, and it really knocked his wind out. And once it got past Parmalee, it was going to have to be all Hicks, who was playing Crawford towards left center. Hicks had to come a long way. So an easy three-bagger for Brandon Crawford, stand-up style. And that's how this inning starts off.
Second triple of the night for the Giants. The Twins bring the infield in for Hicks. Ball one. Hicks hit a home run his last time.
Have a look at the attempt from Chris Parmalee.
Right center field again. Hit well, but to the wrong part of this yard, but plenty deep enough to get Crawford home. Here he comes. 6-2 Giants. Second RBI of the game for Brandon Hicks.
Nice at bat. Nice at bat. You look for something up. You look for something you can drive deep enough to score that runner. And that's everything he wanted to do.
Gregor Blanco up to the plate now. He came in for Morse as part of a double switch when Affeldt entered in the first half of this inning in the 9th spot in the order. 6-2 Giants. Called a strike at the low strike on the outside. Blanco, his overall numbers are still terrible. And in the last 6 games, though, he's looked a lot more like Blanco. It's not just the 4 hits. He's also had some walks and some steals.
Here Lopez heating up very quickly. Thinking about Jason Kubel, due to lead off for the Twins in the 8th.
Kubel and a couple of switch hitters with the do-ups in the 8th for the Twins. And that's all for Blanco. That trip to the plate did not last very long.
That was not memorable.
Brandon Belt. It's been, 2 weeks tomorrow was the day where he got hit in that thumb.
Well, he's really looking forward to the day where he gets it off. He says, you know what? This being on the disabled list is not fun. You just don't feel a part of it. You just feel like a non-contributor. But he'll be back. We do miss him.
Pagan, the curveball from Thielbar for a strike. Pagan has doubled to left, tripled to left, and scored a run and grounded out to second. 2 for 3, hitting .320 for the year, .366 on base average. Here's Dozier to retire the side, but the Giants added another run. On to the 8th inning. Javier Lopez heading in for the bullpen. 6-2 Giants.
Sportsnet Central every night at 10:30 p.m. Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports.
The Giants are leading 6-2 as we head to the 8th inning here on the shores of San Francisco Bay. And Javier Lopez in from the Giants bullpen.
Take a look at what he has done. His body of work in 2014, 18 games now that he has stepped into this one. No record yet, 2.25 ERA. In those 17 games prior, 8 innings amassed, 7 hits allowed, 11 base runners.
Chris Colabello is the pinch hitter for Jason Kubel. Colabello had an excellent month of April. He's just another story similar to Caleb Thielbar. This guy's been many years in the minor leagues, and he got a look-see in the big leagues late last year. And then made the ball club this year in the spring and had a great month of April. He's tailed off considerably as he taps a foul. Colabello is hitting only .233, 4 homers. He has 30 runs batted in. He still actually leads the Twins in RBIs. As Machi is heating up in the bullpen. Colabello in 150 at bats is also, and I mean official at bats, 49 strikeouts. So a third of his official at bats he's ended up striking out.
Well, that's his Achilles heel, and that is what kept him in the minor leagues for as long as he's been there. But the 30 RBIs, you think he was having any fun in April? 27 of those in April.
That's a ball too low. He's from the Boston area, Framingham, Massachusetts. Still lives in Milford, Mass. In the offseason. This guy, talk about independent leagues. He played for 6-7 consecutive years in the Independent Canadian American Association, the Can-Am League, mostly with Worcester. That's a foul tip and held by Hector Sanchez, and Colabello strikes out for the 50th time. So there's a guy who truly never gave up the dream, and here he is in the show.
A little high release point that you'll see Lopez give right-handers. Perfectly located at the knees, a swing through, and Colabello is history.
Now Eduardo Escobar, who has walked twice and grounded out to first.
You know what's great though is the story that Colabello has, the story that that Thielbar has, guys who got released, guys who really toiled for a long time in the minor leagues, rode a lot of buses. That's a story that's revered by everybody in that major league clubhouse. The time you get there, if you've paid your dues to get here, you have respect because of the road that you took. And I've always loved that about baseball players. Some guys get to the big leagues quickly, others don't. But however you get there, when you get there, you have respect that you got there.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Escobar. Pagan going back, still going back, off the wall. Pagan plays the carom, gets it back in a hurry, but it's still a double for Escobar.
I don't think Pagan could have got that ball back to the infield any quicker than he did. Nice at bat, and I don't think anybody expected Escobar to have that type of pop. And that's not a hanger either. Down and in. This is just a golf job. Takes it right back up the middle. When you hit a ball like this, you've got pretty good power. Now watch the way he plays the carom. Doesn't even take a crow hop. Just unloads off his back leg.
Well, that's only the 91st official at bat for Escobar. He's been a role player on this team, not a regular. 91 at bats, and he's second on the team in doubles. That's his 13th double. So here comes Aaron Hicks, a switch hitter who has struck out, walked, and grounded out. 0 for 2. The pitcher's spot is due up next, and Josmil Pinto is out in the on-deck circle. Off the outside, it's 2-0. 6-2 Giants here in the 8th inning. You know, we were talking about Colabello and the perseverance. I mean, there are guys who have years in the minor leagues and who finally get to the big leagues, and that's always a great story. But the independent leagues, that's sort of on the fringes. That's not quite the minor leagues. I mean, it is a minor league, but it's independent baseball. It's out of what is called organized baseball. And those leagues, what's interesting about those leagues, the game is played more like Major League Baseball. You have a couple of good months, you're not moving up to AA or to AAA or maybe to the big leagues. That's who you are. That's you're playing every day, and they're trying to win. They're not trying to just develop players. Well, that's a walk to Aaron Hicks, the second time he has walked. And the Twins have 2 men on. And now Pinto announced as the pinch hitter, the right-handed batter, and Bochy's going to bring in the right-hander, Machi. Pinto, who's got some power. So 1 out, 2 men on. The Giants leading 6-2 here in the 8th inning. Machi will make his entrance, and we'll be back. Giants 6, Twins 2. Things look awfully comfy for the Giants, except the Twins have 2 men on, and they're trying to mount a comeback here as Machi comes in.
23rd time he's come in, and he's really had a great first half. 5 wins, no losses, 0.40 ERA, 21 base runners in 22 2/3 innings. But it's how he's done it which has been so impressive. I mean, he's really got a swing and miss pitch, and that's the forkball. You see a low to mid-90s fastball, a little nickel slider in that forkball that he has a real confidence in.
So Machi, who with Casilla on the disabled list, Casilla, they say could be out about 4 weeks. We'll be seeing a lot more 8th inning action. So here is Pinto, and it's 0-1.
And there's that forkball. You don't see many guys that have that type of command with a forkball, because a forkball is jammed in between your forefinger and your middle finger. And it's not throwing really to the fingertips like a split finger is.
This could be 2. Crawford to Hicks to Posey. The inning is over. Well done by Machi. Pence, Posey, Pablo Coe. Game 1 of this holiday weekend interleague interlude, and Matt Guerrier comes in for the Twins.
And there you see what Guerrier has done. Guerrier, a 4-pitch guy. Chris Parmelee moves over to left field, and Chris Colabella goes into right field. I remember Matt Guerrier when he was with the Dodgers.
That misses. Ball 1 to Hunter Pence, who had an infield single in the first, got an RBI, being safe in an error in the third, and grounded to short in the 5th. Back out of play. Pence has had an eventful night offensively, even though he has not hit the ball out of the infield 3 different times. He's had a hit and a run scored. He's had an RBI. He's had a hand in 2 of the Giants' 6 runs. Back out of play. Pence is 2 for 4 lifetime against Guerrier.
When Guerrier was with the Dodgers, I mean, he was throwing mid-90s with 4 different pitches, and kind of got a little bit overused, and he has lost some fastball. Just got activated back to the big leagues May 8th, which is why you see he's made just 4 appearances so far in this 2014 campaign.
He ended up last year with the Cubs. Pence breaks his bat. Mauer, Guerrier covering just in time as Pence racing up the line. They got him. One away. Guerrier started out with the Twins. He is 5th in the Twins' all-time list of pitchers for appearances. This is his 398th appearance in a Twins uniform in a game.
Dog is decked out, especially the glasses. You know, I'm voting that dog best dressed tonight. And it's not even the dog days of summer yet.
What, is he posing? Is that a picture?
I think so.
0-1 the count. Buster pops it up, foul, and back out of play.
I mean, where do you get those glasses? It's fantastic. Yep, she brought her glove. Do you think those two have fun? Yes, they do.
Those three.
Do you think those three have fun?
I think so. Well, 2 of them anyway. 0-2 the count. Center field. But it fades. Hicks out number 2. Buster 0 for 4 in the game. Buster's fallen upon hard times here lately.
Well, ever since he took that one swing where he got that little back spasm, I mean, he had been very hot prior to that. Missed a couple of games. Still looking for that swing he had when he was hot.
2 down, nobody on, and Pablo Sandoval, who got the Giants started the way they had hoped with a 3-run first inning homer. Curveball misses. There was no cheapie either over the Willie Mays wall, out at the outer end of the wall, over the 365-foot marker. Well up onto the arcade. 3rd homer in the last 4 games for Pablo. Since then, his flight out deep to left center and struck out. 6-2 Giants here in the 8th inning. Giants have action going in their bullpen, by the way. That's foul. 2-1.
Juan Gutierrez is up and starting to throw.
Now, Machi just got the final 2 outs of the 8th inning, but I don't think he could be too exhausted.
2 pitches? Come on, 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Called a strike. Pitcher strike there on the outside at the knees. Pablo figured, well, I better protect.
Oh yeah, he gets in the protect mode faster than anybody.
Didn't necessarily have to be 2 strikes.
No, it'd be 2-0. I'm protected.
Some guys don't want to let one go on 2 strikes. Pablo doesn't ever want to let any pitch go. Joe Mauer. And the Giants are retired. So the Twins at the top of the order. Dozier, Mauer, Plouffe. We go to the 9th. 6-2 Giants. to the 9th inning here at AT&T Park. Meanwhile, as we see Joaquin Arias in at third base, a defensive replacement for Pablo Sandoval here in the 9th. Machi still in there. And the out-of-town scoreboard, the AT&T Park hand-operated traditional Wrigley Field style out-of-town scoreboard. Colorado lost a game in Atlanta 3-2, a heartbreaking loss, but they lost more than that. Their prize young third baseman Nolan Arenado in the 2nd inning with a head-first slide at second base fractured the middle finger in his left hand. A mallet kind of a break similar to the pinky finger break that Scutaro had last year. So bad night all the way around for the Rockies in Atlanta, and we hope he's back quickly because he's one of the great rising young stars in the game. Here's Dozier against Machi and a fastball at 94 for a called strike.
That's the thing about Machi. He really has gotten established around baseball with that forkball, and you're aware of that pitch when you get into that batter's box, and all of a sudden he shoots a 94-mile-an-hour fastball by you. I don't see many guys pull the trigger on that pitch.
Strike 2 call.
Ball was right up with a good fork and a quick 0-2. And if you're Dozier, you're thinking, what were those things? You don't see many fork balls. They have a different rotation than a split. They tumble. They don't have as much spin on the rotation that a split finger will have.
There's another one. Bounce foul. Got a piece of it.
But you just don't see many guys throw them anymore because they're not easy to control. Once you get the ball a little bit out on your fingertips like a split finger, it's an easier pitch to command. And if you see Machi walking around, he's always got a ball between his fingers, stretching those two fingers out. So they fit that fork ball a little better.
0-2. Now, if Machi should run into some difficulties here in the 9th inning, the Giants closer, Sergio Romo, will be ready. Up and throwing with bullpen coach Mark Gardner alongside already in the Giants pen. By the way, the Dodgers also played tonight, and they won in Philadelphia. Back of Clayton Kershaw in the bullpen, 2-0 over the Phils. Right back to Machi. One away. So a tough man to keep off the bases. Dozier, who, when he hasn't been hitting home runs, has been getting a lot of walks. 5th most in the American League coming in. But Machi keeps him off the bases. And now Mauer. Another tough guy to keep off the bases. They got a couple of guys who get on base a lot at the top of the order. Mauer tonight has had 2 hits, including a triple into the big gap in right center to knock in a run for the Twins, and then later in the inning he scored the other run. He had an infield single in the 5th. He's 2 for 4. That's a fastball. Strike 1 called.
Well, with Santiago Casilla out for a month, if something were to happen to Sergio Romo where he had an injury, the guy who would inherit the job of closer in this team is on the hill right now. It would be Gene Machi. That's how much confidence Bruce Bochy has in him. And again, the one thing that Bochy likes in a late inning reliever is a swing and miss pitch. And Machi has that forkball, and it is a swing and miss pitch to both lefties and righties. And that is the definition of a true swing and miss, where it's effective against both sides of the plate.
And there's exactly what you're talking about.
You get so conscious of that forkball that you forget that he's got some giddy up on that fastball. And he just threw a 93-mile-an-hour fastball with great location on it, and he blew it by a good fastball hitter.
Two down, nobody on. Here is Trevor Plouffe. His walk grounded to third, and twice blasted the ball to the Giants shortstop, Crawford. And it's ball 1. That one got away from Machi.
Yeah, Plouffe's got a very, very quick swing. You can see why he's put up the numbers he's put up this year.
2 down, nobody on. The Giants leading the Twins 6-2 here in the 9th. And he spins one in there for a called strike.
And that's a slider. The way Plouffe sets up, he's really looking for something high. He's very upright. I mean, he's geared for the pitch belt high and above.
Brandon Crawford. Off the bag pose, he tags him out, and the ball game is over. The Giants win their 4th consecutive interleague matchup as they take a 4-0 win over the Twins, and it's a win for Tim Lincecum on a night when a lot of things did not go well for him.
Well, it wasn't easy. I mean, he walked 6 in 6 innings, but the one thing about Lincecum is that he does not quit, and he managed somehow to make it work. It does help when his teammates get him 4 runs in the first 4 innings, like the offense did tonight. Nice job, big win.
A couple of home runs for the Giants as well. Giants beating Minnesota 6-2. Stay with us. We'll come back.